Hey everyone, welcome back. So I've been in the process of making a series on credit spreads, and I felt that today this move that we've had in Amazon is an excellent opportunity to look at the risks involved with credit spreads. Um, and I understand a lot of people are going to say, a credit spread is a defined risk trade. That's the primary reason you put it on, and I agree with that. But I feel that basically that can set a trap. Let's say that you're new to credit spreads and you start off small, which is good. You're doing, just one contract at a time. And after a couple months, you get comfortable and you do, say, a 10 lot of contracts or 20 or how many ever. And then you have a move like this in Amazon, and that basically will blow up your account. So you need to really keep check on your contract size. Um, if we go to the Analyze tab here, we can actually look. I went into Think Back, and we're looking at Thursday evening's expiration. And if we look at the Friday close, it had 1 day expiration left. Let's say that you just wanted to go out here all the way to the 95 probability out of the money, this 5 delta. You could do the 3400 and buy the 3390. This is basically a 10-point wide credit spread. So that means that our max risk is going to be $1,000. And we're collecting 76-cent credit, which can be seen right here. And this is 95% probability of being out of the money. But we already know that the stock is actually, it dropped below 3,400. So, this high probability trade here has went against you. And, you can't roll this either as far as it gets in the money. Even if we look at, let's say you want to go farther out, let's say 50 days, and you entered this trade Thursday evening. And we're going to do the same, 3,400. So we'll sell the 3,400, the 3,390, the same 10-point wide spread. So we're still $1,000 max loss or $1,000 risk, and we're collecting $275 credit. So realistically, we subtract the credit from the max loss, so that really leaves us only about $725 for the max loss. But what I'm going to show you right here now is that if you actually entered this trade, you went out 50 days. Now we're going to the trade tab. So this is actually Saturday morning. If we look at the 3,400, 3,390, it's now 582. So we're already 100% loss on the trade. And you run into a couple of problems here once you get this deep into the money. One of the problems you're going to face is that you're basically going to have negative theta decay. So you're going to lose money every day, because what's going to happen, because this trade is now worth $582 and it has roughly 48 days left. If it stays in the money, it's going to keep gaining money. It's going to increase in value until expiration. And the maximum that this can be worth is going to be basically $1,000. Or so you're at 582 right now. So basically this is going to be worth, roughly $10 or $1,000. So that's going to be working against you. And another problem that you're going to have is that you're not going to be able to roll this trade. Once you get in the money, it becomes near impossible to roll for credit. And we're only at 58 days. We can actually go all the way to June of 23. This is almost 2 years out rolling this trade. And let's say that we want to roll just where we're just barely out of the money. We're only getting a $550 credit to do that. But if we remember our old trade, let's say we buy this back to roll it. So it will cost us $33 to roll this trade. We will not even get a credit to try to roll this trade out and farther down. And, you know, you could try to roll it out and stay in the money, but the only thing that's going to save you is going to be the stock moving back up and your spread moving out of the money. Because as long as this spread stays in the money, you're going to be losing money. Basically, the person that owns this spread is now taking advantage of this theta decay, and you know, you're basically losing it. So the main thing I wanted to get across here is just don't get too complacent and open up a ton of credit spreads and think that just because you're far out of the money, you're not going to hit. And don't assume that just because your credit spread moves into the money, don't assume that you're going to be able to roll it for credit, because if it goes deep in the money here, you can't roll it. You pretty much have to try to roll this as soon as it gets right to the money. Once you start getting in the money, it's going to get very, very difficult to roll. One thing that can help is to use a wider credit spread. You know, I'm just showing basically just 10-point wide credit spreads right now. You know, you could do basically the wider the spread is, the more it's going to act like a cash secured put. But, you know, when you're dealing with a $3,000 product here, it gets difficult to, you know, really get extremely wide here, because you're going to be using a lot of buying power to, you know, if you try to widen this trade. Another thing you can do is when you roll it, you could, you know, right now we're at 10-point wide. You could try and roll to a 20-point wide spread. And if we do that, let's say that we buy the 3,400, 3,390 back. And now we're going to do the 20-point wide. So now we are getting a credit. We have a credit, but we're going to drag this trade out for 2 years now. And we have also went from having $1,000 max loss to $2,000 max loss. So, you know, that is another option. But if you have already over leveraged yourself to the point that you can't do that, you know, that's not going to help you. So, you know, I guess the main takeaway is just understand that credit spreads can and will reach a max loss. And if you're trading credit spreads, you're going to have a max loss eventually. It's not if, it's when. You will take a max loss eventually with a credit spread. And that's just part of it. So just understand those risks are there. You know, just because it's a defined risk trade, you know, doesn't mean that you need to over leverage yourself. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful, and have a great day. Bye.